Good afternoon, and it's a glorious spring day. And here we are at the Saltersford Canal arm of the Grand Union in Warwick, waiting for our hosts, Nigel and Peter. And here they come. Here we are, looking forward to some of Nigel's legendary cooking and sorting out the 2025 cruise. Hello chaps!
Hello, lovely to see you. You alright?
It's ages.
I know it is ages.
Here is Priceless. When did we last see Priceless?
A few months ago.
It was Great Haywood, wasn't it? Yeah. Looking lovely. And what a lovely spot to spend your winter. Bit of road noise, but really canally. Back on the canal, halfway up the Hatton Flight, the Stairway to Heaven as it was called, and the heaven in our case is the pub at the top.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To yours.
Yeah.
Where I come from?
Now this is boat food.
AKA Nigel.
This is boat food, which we'll be doing on our blog later in the season,
And
showing you how to cook gourmet food on a boat.
yes, boat food with Nigel. Watch out for it. So here we are, sorting out the route for 2025 cruise.
So,
Definitely down south.
we went up north last year and we're going to leave that for a while, aren't we?
Yeah.
It was really cold. So, we're going to head off from Market Harborough, down the Leicester line,
Yeah.
and down the Grand Union into the posh Buckinghamshire area, outskirts of London,
Hills.
and then we're going to go on to the River Thames and go to the Henley Regatta, hopefully, and past Reading, right along the Kennington Avon, right into Bristol.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Is that right, folks?
Yes,
Yep.
that's right, yes.
Yeah.
And then back, all the way there, back.
Back to Oxford,
Yeah.
Reading, and up the Oxford, and if
The
we've got
Oxford.
time, go down to Lechlade,
Yeah.
and then back up to the Midlands.
You don't fancy doing the River Severn estuary up to Sharpness, do
No,
you?
we don't.
With somebody
fancy
on the
doing
boat,
that.
yeah, I would, but not really.
I'm not
no.
doing that.
No.
No, we're not.
So there we are. Preview of our plans.
Yeah.
Best get back to the boat and make her ready. Well, back at the boat, turning our attention to the front of the boat now. Certainly trying to do what we can before we go out on the cut. And you know those jobs that you don't think will take too long, but when you get going you find lots and lots and lots of trouble. And I think that cratch board is going to need a little bit of fettling. My plan is to slap a load of hammerite on that, which will form a sort of seal, treat the rust. We'll put some yacht varnish on the wood itself, and we'll put some new sealer around any remaining gaps. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. I've just rubbed it down and degreased it, and I'm going to put a couple of coats of standard black direct to metal paint on that. Well, there's the first coat on. We'll let it dry, wait for another day when it doesn't rain, and do another coat. Well, it's another glorious morning. We're back at the boat for the oily bits. In the next 3 days I hope to have the engine serviced, an accumulator fitted to the water system, and the bow thruster batteries changed. Let's see how that goes. Just waiting for Steve whilst the engine warms up, so that the oil goes a bit runny and warm, which makes it easier to change. Meanwhile, Judith is having a go at the cratch board. He's going to apply my new favourite substance, yacht varnish, which is amazing gloppy thick stuff, but should really protect the wood. from any further deterioration, we hope. So oil filter, air filter, oil change done. That's the easy bit. Steve's just checking everything. Have we got enough oil in the engine?
No. We haven't.
What do you mean we haven't? We haven't.
It's very difficult to see.
Well, I know, that's the trouble. Fresh oil, it's not black, is it?
No.
So that is a new Wasp fuel filter. The one's been on the boat for 3 years, and we think that perhaps it needs cleaning. So Steve's disassembling the old one, and what we decided we're going to do is take the filter element out of that one, stick it in the old one, clean the filter element in the old one, stick it in the new one, then I'll have a spare filter. Excellent. Fuel filters, oil filter, air filter, and she's running. Just gearbox oil, and we're done. Meanwhile, Judith has been hard at work on the cratch board. First coat of yacht varnish on it. I put some sealer, or Sikaflex, along the bottom. With a bit of luck, that's going to look nice for a while to come. Lunchtime. Morning. Well, today's job is to change the bow thruster batteries. The bow thruster helps the boat turn and is useful sometimes when you're mooring, especially when it's windy. Some boaters call it the wuss button, but we find it useful on occasion. It runs off batteries. There are 2 of them under that lot, and they're knackered. So we need to change them, but first we need to do something with all that to give us some access. There we are. The mess is cleared away. It's on the walkway, so it's out of people's way though. And there's the guts of the bow thruster. 2 110 amp batteries connected red to red and black to black, so that's parallel. So it's 12 volts, 220 amp hours. And as you can see from all that stuff, they're pretty knackered. So that's the power coming in from the engine, so that's going to be live. So I need to make sure I wrap that up. And then that's the negative coming in from the engine, so that's fine, that can touch ground. And that's the power to the bow, well, the negative to the bow thruster, so that's fine, I think. Although, yeah, maybe I ought to disconnect the reds before I let that touch anything, just in case. So that needs to be wrapped up, and once I've disconnected that, this should be without power. So yeah, I better get disconnecting.
Insulation going on that live connection. Plenty of it. We have one battery free. Just a matter of getting it out now. One out.
I've got one, look.
Steve's come to help.
Yeah. Put it on the bloody battery.
Well, do I need to, I can leave this now, can't I? Or do I have to keep a cap on it?
Well, no, you
Suppose
don't.
I should.
Well, unless you're going to hit something, right? Better this side.
We made it look easy.
Yeah. There's a white beam down there called Spot.
Well earned coffee break before we get the new ones
lad's
in.
called Denzel.
Yeah. It might just go straight down.
Well, if you want someone holding it with you. Yeah. Right,
Your
ready?
backs, you two.
Oh, that's worked, hasn't it? Well, you just, if you hold it there, I can use 2 hands, this one and that one, to guide it in.
Let me just get it.
Right, okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Got 2. Well, you've got it, haven't you?
Where's the red? There. Right, you hold the on the rope.
Now it's just a matter of connecting up correctly.
Black to black, red to red. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. The second battery. Slightly easier to get to than the first
Right,
one.
now that little connector thing.
Oh, this one.
Now a nut. Well, let's just get this on properly. That's not gone on right.
On. Everything being tightened. Hopefully it's going to work.
The moment of truth. I think it's all connected. It's either going to work, it's not going to work, or it's going to go bang.
And the keys underneath the flower pot. Okay.
It works! Right, just put the wooden cover on and we're done. So there you are. Bow thruster batteries replaced. Second coat of varnish on the cratch board. Just got to paint that gas locker lid green to look a bit sexy and put some decals on, but that's for another day. Lunchtime. Morning. Well, the last big task is to re-plumb the water system. Ever since I fitted that new pump, Judith has not been happy because it pulses and is noisy. So I'm going to try and solve the problem with some washers. That thing to the right, which is an accumulator, and by replacing that spaghetti of quick or push fit piping by these flexible pipes. Wish me luck. This tap should stop water coming out there. Right, and then where else do I disconnect? Now more water's going to come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with the pipes, sort of test fitting before I tighten everything up. Top tip though, those threads are very easy to strip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the pipe before I slot it into the pump, and then hopefully I'm less likely to cross thread it than if I'm trying to screw it on when it's actually on the pipe.
Good thinking, Batman.
I'm not tightening it right up, I'm just these are just test fits. Okay, so that's move that back down there a bit to take a bit of pressure off that pipe. Not too kinked, is it? Next, I'm gonna take this one out and I'm gonna put a short one on there.
So don't they need any of that white tape stuff in?
No, they shouldn't do, no. Next, I'm going to put a long pipe on there to see where it gets to, where the accumulator is.
BTFE around this bit.
Well, I hope no plumbers are watching this. They say you don't need PTFE, but belt and braces. So that will go in there. Oh, I suppose I should take the blanking plug out. That means I think I have to lift that up. Ah, there. It's going to be a bit twisty. This is the awkward bit, I think. It's a spiral, it's not a kink. Might just be putting a bit of strain on these here. It's my only concern. That's not so bad, is it?
Good morning, Steve.
Morning.
Steve's just come to have a little look.
To assist.
Job in hand. Which he said should be okay.
Steve has. This has had the Steve seal of approval. The SSAP, SSA, the Steve seal of approval.
He's retired now, though.
What, Steve? Yeah, but you can still give advice when you're retired. I do.
Well, you do. You should charge.
Right, so water's on. So that means that I don't think there's any leakage going there. Oh, maybe there is actually. It's difficult to know because it's
a bit damp underneath, isn't it?
No leakage here. Okay. Right, now we've got to switch the pump on. So Judith has taken over. But to be fair, we had a leak because one of the flexible pipes was putting too much pressure on the quick connect, so it wasn't quite sealing. So Judith has come up with this ingenious arrangement which might just work. We've switched everything back on again and we're assessing for leaks before everything gets screwed down again. Fingers crossed. She's a genius, you know.
Yeah, right.
And there you are. After a bit of jiggery pokery, we seem to have it all connected and none of it's leaking. We were hoping to paint the gas locker lid today, but it is very windy, and Stephen, who just dropped by, has pointed out that we'll just get bits blown by the wind stuck on the paint. So that may be a little job for a day when it's a bit less windy. So I think I'll just put some sealer at the bottom of the inside of the cratch board, and that's pretty much it until we go out on the cut for the final checks that everything's working, and final bit of painting and polishing down the side. So a cruise to look forward to. So that's next time. For now, thank you once again for following us whilst we get Dreammaker sorted, smartened up, and we'll see you on the next one. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bye for now.